So we're in the outdoor studio. We got "Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing" by Robert Robinson, 18th century hymn. Great song. It's a pretty simple arrangement. Should be able to pick it up pretty fast. And if I can play it, then anyone can play it. So let's get right into it. So it has two parts. First part's a little harder than the second, but both, all things considered, are pretty easy. So just a note, we're going to have the pedal to the metal. Every chord change we're going to release it, then reset it. That'll just make sure we're sounding smooth. So also note, if you can't do full octaves down in the bass, then just play the lower root note. So on the C, just play the lower. And let's get right into it. So the first part, section number 1, we're going to have a C major chord, C, E, G, then D, G, and C. So, and we're going to play the G and C twice. So, then we're going to add in the bass on that G and C. So it'll sound with the bass added, that's C, G, C, and the bass, and we're going to go together. And that's the first section of part 1. And then after this, we've got a little walk up. So we do, then we're going to walk up E, G, then slide up the bass notes to a G, G, D, G, and B and D in the right. So that walk up together, and hit that twice on the right hand. And just what I like to, how I remember this is the shape. There's one note in between the G and the octave and the B and the D. So you can just remember that, the placement, one note in between. So that's the second section. Now we're going to go to the third section of part 1, and we're going to do this all in one go. Third section, you could break it into 2 parts, but it just sounds, I think it's easier to teach if it's just done together. So let's try that out. It's going to be another walk up. So after we've done the first part, like, so now after that, we're going to do E, G. This hand just moves down from the G to an F. So F, C, F. And on the right, we're going to have a F and an A. So walk up. And then after that, we've got a G, then C and E. Hit this D, and then back to home, C. And that's the first part. So we'll do it all together slowly, like this. And that's it. So for part number 2, as I said earlier, this is even easier. So we're gonna we'll do a quick demo of it first, just as a refresher. So let's go. So what you'll notice is I just have the same octave, the C's down in the left hand the whole time. And so it makes it super easy. We're just hitting this 4 times. So that's C, G, C, and in the right hand we start off with an A, G, then together with the octave this G and C, and then move your finger 1 down to a G and B. So it looks like together. That's the first section of part 2. Pretty easy. Moving along, after we do that, we're going to do a little back and forth. So A, G, And on the third note here that we play, we're going to include the octave. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the second section of part 2. Then moving right along, the last section is pretty easy, or last 2 sections. So we're just going to do A, G, sort of like the start, and then G and C with the octave, and G and B. And that's it for that third section of part 2. And the final section is even easier. We're just going to go A, G, G and C with the octave. And that's it for part 2. So part 2 done slowly sounds something like this. Sorry. That's all of part 2 done together. So finally we're going to play it all at once, just normal speed. So it should sound something like this. So for arranging that with those 2 parts, you want to do the first part twice, then the second part, the first part 3 times, then the second part, then the first part once. And that's a solid arrangement of the song, and lots of fun to practice and play on. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.